Hello there YouTube, it's Conspiracy Boy here with another winter car boot haul. This is the last one of the year in fact, no more car boot sales in 2015. Luckily for me, out of the two indoor car boots, one of them does actually open on the 3rd of January, whereas the more local one doesn't open until the 10th. I did do both of the car boot sales today. I did manage to get up early enough and get to both of them. It seemed like a nice dry day, so it was worth a shot. As you can tell, just wasn't much out there. What was the first thing I bought? I think this was the first thing I bought on the first scout around. There's a loose Nintendo DS Animal Crossing. It seems to be quite a widely liked game. Everyone that talks about it seems to say good things about it. So yeah, that was 50p, and I just thought, seeing as I've never played it and a lot of people say how great it is, it would be worth picking up. Next little lot I got would probably be this little bundle here. The lady said these items were 10 to 20p each, depending on what they were. In the end she only charged me 10p each. So we got this small little wolf fella. It's really difficult to get this camera in focus right. Those little purple feet, and I thought, just from looking at him, that he looked like a Digimon character with his blue lines on his face. But I might be wrong, because I don't really know a great deal about Digimon. They also had this Batman, which I thought looked like a little Micro Machine sized Batman. In fact, he's probably much bigger than a Micro Machine Batman, and you might be able to make out he's missing an arm, which I didn't see. As when I was picking this up, it was about 7:30 in the morning, which in summertime, I mean, it's blinding sunlight, but this time of year, 7:30 in the morning, you still can't see anything, so it does make some bits difficult. There's a little figure there from Dragon Ball Z, I think. Might be wrong, in Naruto, but I think it's Dragon Ball Z. It had this WWF belt that's got heavyweight champion written on it. I thought at first someone had written that on in pen, but I think it's actually part of the belt. Yeah, there's no way anyone could have written that neatly, that smallly. And then this, which looks like it's from Peter Pan to me. Yeah, it looks like the alligator coming out of the water. So they were 10p each. Next thing, it's probably these two. A fella was just setting up and he emptied an entire box of toy cars onto the floor. I instantly started looking through them because there was so little there that the thought of rummaging through a box of toy cars was appealing. But yeah, I went through and the first one I found was this. It's very beaten up, but it is a Corgi Centurion Mark III. It's so dirty, I can't even see if it says a year of production, but yeah, it was all beat up. And he just came over as I was rummaging. He said, anything in that pile you want, mate, they're 50p each. So I thought, brilliant, well, we'll have that. I also found this, which looks like immaculate condition. The problem is it does have a chip here, and the entire like missile firing interior inside is just ruined. So much so that this door doesn't close properly. But from the outside, at least from this side, it does look brand new, pristine. So if it was just for display purposes without actually firing or showing the missile inside, this would be really good. That's a Matchbox one, a Battle Kings K3 missile launcher, 1975. I see quite a lot of these just battered and destroyed. I've never seen one looking so clean, even if it is damaged. So yeah, I was really chuffed with that, 50p. So I paid him his £1 for those, and as I went to leave, he had this one on the end of the table. And I picked this one up, and he said, oh, that one's £2 because that's a corgi. And I looked on the bottom and it says in massive letters, dinky. And I thought, you've just sold me a corgi one for 50p and you want £2 for the dinky. But then I thought, well, if I pay him £2 for this one, you know, it's worked out. I paid £1 each for these, which, I mean, I was chuffed when they were 50p. I wasn't quite so chuffed when I found out they were £1 each, but I think maybe if I do them individually, they might go for more than that. I don't know, I don't really know about these things. We'll find out. Anyway, I mean, then, oh no, that definitely wasn't the next one. It's probably this one next. I'm going to have to move a lot of this. Oh no, I could just do this. Okay, so I saw this just draped over someone's car window, and I was like, oh, hello. That looks very vintage turtles. I went over and asked her how much she wanted for it, and I was clearly the first person to inquire. She said, oh, £1? And I just thought, you know what, for a Turtles poster in that good a nick, it must be, what, 20 odd years old, I thought, yeah, go on for £1, have it. And then she leant over into a suitcase which was just full of these, and I was like, oh my god, what other prints have you got in there? So she started pulling out all the other ones that were in there, and it was just rubbish. Like, oh, there's a photo of a boat, like 100 times. But she had loads of these copies of Turtles. In retrospect, I should have probably just said, how many of the Turtles have you got? And then just lowballed the offer down to 50p each and taken the whole lot to stick on eBay for like $3.99 or something. But no, I didn't. I said, yeah, I'll have one for £1. And then the last thing I got at the first Carboot sale was this. It's a Super Famicom NES cartridge. He did have 3 of these. And I'd never heard of any of them. He said he had loads and someone else had come round and picked them up, but it wasn't at that Carboot sale. It must have been like a friend of his previously or something. But yeah, I don't know enough about these to know which ones he had, and he's a guy I really get on with. I haven't seen him for a long time, so I was really happy to see him because he's normally got quite good stuff, and I mean, it's not cheap, but yeah, he does it at an alright price. So yeah, this, I can't even really read it. I think it says Trazers. It says 1990. There was one he had, he was like, oh, that's the best one to get there, you should get this one, and it was something, and underneath it said Ogre Tactics or something, I don't know. And another one which was something too, and he was like, oh, I have number 1 here, but again, I couldn't pronounce it. He wanted £4 for that, which is like quite a lot of money, but I haven't seen him in so long. I just thought I want to make sure he actually comes Carbooting again. And it seems that he's been doing so much buying, he hasn't been going around selling. And when he's decided to come selling, the weather's been poor and whatnot. Anyway, he seems to be back now, shifting stuff, and certainly has a lot of new stuff to get through. So yeah, that was good. Then we left that Carboot sale and went to the next one where I only got these 2 items. The first one is this book called Darth Vader and Son by Jeffrey Brown. I mean, it's not an actual story, it's just little pages of diagrams and drawings. I saw it on like one of these Firebox websites where they were trying to charge a tenner for it, and I just thought it's way too much money for a little book like that, but for 50p, make a nice present for someone I know. And the only other thing I got was this, which is the girls' edition of the Talk Boy, the Talk Girl, as seen in the Home Alone films. This was on a store where everything was marked up, which I at first assumed was a trader store, but then turned out it wasn't. But when I see everything priced with a sticker, I just think, oh yeah, you're here for the money. But yeah, they've labelled this up, £2, Home Alone, Classic EX. I don't know what Classic EX means, but it's missing the cover, which is like most of them really. But yeah, I might have to have a little play with that. I said to them I might even try and spray it the right colours, but in reality that's just too much long-winded. I'll have to try and test it. Don't know what it's meant to look like inside, but yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm sure it'll be fine though. So yeah, that was the only other buy. I did get a couple of other little bits and pieces, like another couple of badges. 2 aren't really worth anything, but I'll probably be giving them away as Christmas presents. I was going to stop off at my local B&M on the way home and get some fairy lights that looked like they were little red sort of berries, and they're £2.99 each in B&M, or £3.99 each. These were marked down from £2 to £1, so I just thought bargain. So I got my 2 of those for £2 instead of spending like 6 or 7 at B&M. I bought this massive box here full of Play-Dohs. I've got relatives that kids like Play-Doh a lot. But yeah, most of it just looks like trash in the box on closer inspection. I only paid £1 for the whole box, and there's a couple of boxes of Play-Doh in there, so I'm not totally disheartened, but yeah. I think it's just a difficult time of year for car booting, guys. I know I'm complaining when I'm one of the few people that actually still gets to go car booting almost all year round, so I shouldn't really complain, but yeah, there's not a lot out there in it. You're not missing much by not being at the boot sales, apart from maybe these awesome Turtles posters. I'm going to tidy up the toy room over the Christmas holidays and find a home for that on the wall somewhere, so that should be cool. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think as always. Still really chuffed to see you guys still making videos. I do check YouTube every day, even if it's like a little Jeff Solo Christmas haul. I love hearing about all the old topping up their pensions and you buying the world's worst Power Ranger toys just to keep some pensioner heating going through the night. Yeah, that's good. So yeah, thanks very much to Rabbit and also to Nerdtastic Taylor, who've sent me some little parcels in the post for Christmas. That's really kind of you guys. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. This will probably be the last video I make till after Christmas. I do have some awesome things that I will be getting for Christmas, but I know exactly what they are at the moment. But I'm going to keep it a surprise for you guys. So I've got this box full of goodies and another box which isn't quite so well hidden. But yeah, I do have some cool stuff that's going to be my Christmas presents that we'll see maybe on the day, but probably not till 2 days after Christmas, I would have thought. It would just be too busy to keep up with. But yeah, would love to see what you guys get for Christmas in relation of old vintage toys and maybe newer rarity ones. I don't know. So yeah, looking forward to seeing any Christmas collectors updates, and I hope you all have a great time. Merry Christmas, guys. See you all in 2016. Bye.